Hello and welcome to another Union Arena video. Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. So, this one is going to be a little bit different than what we're usually doing. I'm going over all the FMA decks, but right now we're only going to be discussing Big Briggs Energy, a terrifying deck. We are going to be talking about how it matches up inside of the meta, what to anticipate if you have to play against it in Gen Con, or if you should be taking it to Gen Con at all. I think that this entire set is super undervalued by people, and you really need to open your eyes and look at the possibilities of these decks that require a bit more forethought, but a lot of reward for that forethought. So let us begin and jump into it. To start, let's go over the reason we're playing this deck, okay? All right. Olivier Armstrong. Oh, fantastic, fantastic character. So it is a 6-drop. Yeah, that hurts. I understand, everybody, but please keep listening, keep following along before you close out the video. 4K. I know, only a 4K. Unfortunate. When played, switch all Briggs affinity cards on your field to active. Yeah. That's frontline and backline, which can be very synergistic and very good. And if you have, just played a couple of them to the frontline, raid her and go, woohoo! Yeah, you're doing some scary stuff. But yes, she can do that. And in addition, you may place one card from your hand into your sideline. If you do, choose up to one character on your field with 2 or more base AP cost and switch it to active. This is a deck that plays between 10 and 12 double AP cards, 8 of which are characters. That effect can be insanely good, especially if you just set one of them to active. She is a powerhouse. She rewards you for ramping up, having big, large, explosive turns that makes your opponent get into very defensive and poor positions. So, let's go over the entire Briggs deck, shall we? To start off, we have Vato. He's a draw discard. He has Briggs Affinity. Enough said. We're playing him. We have the Raid Olivier. There's no more 0 cost, so I opted for the active trigger 2K Louis. You can push him up early. You can get some chip damage in. It's all good. It's very, very good. Now, this deck falls into an unfortunate circumstance with FMA where the majority of the decks are forced to play close to 8, if not 8 non-triggers, just because the quality of the cards that are not triggers. Olivier's raid target, that is the 1 cost. It is the searcher for any Briggs Affinity card. Get that card, sideline a card. Look at the top 4. These types of cards are fantastic in these larger explosive decks. There are some decks where searching honestly can hurt it, but in this one, you want to be finding these large explosive turns. You want to be setting up for these huge double AP plays that are going to be able to swing tempo into your play and force your opponent to make bad blocks or bad decisions. She is fantastic. The next one you have to play, he's a Briggs Affinity, and if you have 3 or more other Briggs Affinity cards on your field, he's a double energy generator. He's an incredible card. You have to play him as a 4 of. The benefit is the turn he comes down, he's already generating 2, because almost everything in this, other than the Louis and Edwards, are Briggs Affinities. It is fantastic. 10 out of 10. Amazing card. Now, moving along to the next card. Let's not touch her yet. We'll look at the color trigger in just a second. 4-2 Buccaneer. 4K does not come into play active. Don't keep reading, guys. I know, reading, but we need to do it for these cards. FMA is so good. If you have 3 or more Briggs Affinity cards on your field, reduce this card's AP cost by 1 while in your hand. Active main. This character, once per turn, can gain 1,000 and impact 1. And at the end of your opponent's attack phase, sideline this character, then draw a card until the start of your next turn. It's a good finisher and early pressure card. But the fact is, in this deck, 99% of the time, unless you're making mistakes or have a really poor draw, he is going to be a 1 AP 4 cost. That still has the ability that allows Olivier to restand him when she's attacking. And on play, stand him, meaning that's multi-attack. That's attack with her, or attack with him, attack with her, attack with him again. All you have to do is discard, I don't know, something that wasn't one of those cards. Who cares? It's worth it. Discard a card to deal an extra damage or get an extra attack in. Really, really worth it. And then the last Briggs card that we get to play is Fort Briggs. Now, originally in my testing, I had this as a full 4 of, but I think 3 is where I'm comfy. Any less than 3, you're sometimes going to have to use the searcher to find it to be able to get it, because getting it is honestly insanely good. But if you're doing that, you're kind of sad. When played, reduce the AP of the next Briggs affinity card from your hand by 1. So, yeah, you can free play any of your cards that only cost 1, including the Buccaneer if you have 3 or less. Or if you don't have 3 or less, you can just pay 1 AP and play him anyways. It's a 2 AP that refunds an AP more or less when you do that. Insanely good synergy, insanely good card. The rest of the text on this thing is also incredibly good. Active main, switch to resting. Activate only if you played a card with 2 or more base AP cost. And draw a card. You can only activate this card's ability once per turn. So if you have multiple Fort Briggs, you're still only doing it once per turn. I don't know why it needed that text, but hey, that's how Union Arena works sometimes. But to be able to go 2 AP for a card or 1 AP for a card, switch to resting and draw a card, that is insane. Now, the other benefit of that card is Olivier. So if you play Fort Briggs, raid Olivier, she restands Fort Briggs, taps Fort Briggs, draw a card. If you got anything else to restand during that turn, like even if that was the last thing you're going to do in your turn, insane. That is fantastic. You are thrilled to be able to do that. Gaining that little bit of card advantage just because you're playing a 2 AP card that technically is only 1 AP because the next thing costs 1 less. All of these cards are very synergistic, can lead to a lot of explosive turns, a lot of big swings against your opponent. And then there's the other cards you get to tech into it. So, to start off, one last Briggs card. Holy cow, is this color trigger good. So, if a card with 2 or more base AP cost has been played onto your field this turn, you choose one of your APs and switch it to active. You can only use her ability once per turn. So you don't want to play multiple Oliviers in the same turn. But if you play Fort Briggs, then you played her for free, you restand an AP, meaning you're still at 2 AP. You have netted AP by playing this combo-centric type of deck. And if you played Buccaneer for only 1 AP, play her. You refund the AP, meaning you got to play her for free. All of these are incredible things. All of these are very powerful, very strong. She is an incredible card. It's unfortunate that you can only do it once per turn, but to be fair, if that was unlocked, yeah, problems. All of these lead to you being able to do a lot of explosive things. Now, the last double AP card in this deck is Louis Armstrong, possibly the most overtuned card printed in recent sets. It's insanely strong, at least in the NA meta. I understand in JP, he's not very good. But in this deck, he is absurd. He is a 4 of. He doesn't have the Briggs affinity, so keep in mind all of those things that specifically say Briggs cards, he doesn't get triggered for. That is unfortunate, but he's still so very good, and he has such good synergy because of the 2 AP costs in this deck. You're going to be playing him anyways. So, damage 2, once per turn when this character attacks and wins a battle, draw 2 cards. That once per turn line needed to be put it on him. Active trigger 4.5k. Louis is so good. The synergy comes in if you have him in play, you just played him, and you have Olivier swing, you can discard a card and stand him up, meaning you immediately get to swing with him the turn he comes down. Or if he's already active and your opponent didn't remove him, you raid Olivier, you untap other things, you're still filling up all of those attacks and attacking with double damage twice in the same turn. Your opponent doesn't know what to do. It's very difficult. They're either going to have to lose out on most of their board, or they're going to be risking it for the biscuits and praying for some good triggers off of life. It is insane. It is very, very good. You love this card. He is a mandatory 4 of inside of the deck. Now, outside of that, you do have some flex spots and some cards that you get to play. I have put 2 of the biggest ones that I like into the deck right now. For instance, Edward. If you get a super combo heavy aggressive start and swing into your opponent, even if they get special triggers out of life that kill your Louis and stuff, you can get your opponent pretty down on life early, getting them sometimes to 3, sometimes to 2. And the fact that you can give him impact or play him quickly and just lose a life, finish out the game quickly, the guy has great synergy with the deck. Draw trigger is also very good. This deck is less draw centric, more active centric because you're playing big scary things and you want big scary things to be big and scary. Your opponent needs to either go, all right, kill the big scary thing, or we're going to smash through and try to outrace you, in which case all of the switch decks and everything like that going to outrace you. You hit an active trigger, congratulations, they're no longer beating you. Louis blocks for free, hit an active trigger, restand Louis, he, your opponent feels horrible. It is fantastic. But yeah, you're playing Edward. He's very good. I like him as a 3 of. You could play him as a 4 of. I will experiment with him as a 4 of. I'm not going to lie. But the other card that you can play in some number is the 2-drop Louis. When played, draw 1, ditch 1 with an active trigger, 3K. I really like the active trigger. I really like the draw discard. It helps smooth out your draw. That gives you a total of 9 in this current iteration. I honestly might do 10 with him, drop Edward down to 2. We'll see. We'll see. Because that just allows you to smooth out your draw and have those bigger, more combo-centric turns. You want to be able to have the turns where you go, I play Fort Briggs, I play Olivier, I'm back to 2 AP, I play Buccaneer for only 1 AP. Okay, so Olivier's on the front line, Buccaneer's on the front line. I still only have 1 AP. Raid my Olivier from my Olivier who's on the back line. Stand both of those cards up. Swing with Buccaneer first. Swing with Olivier. Discard a card. Untap Buccaneer. You see where we're going with all of this. The multi-attack ability with her as a 6-drop raider is an incredible thing. Now, the last thing that I think we need to touch on is how the matchup goes. Oh, yeah. 8 events, specials, finals, done. In most of the 6-drop decks, you don't necessarily have to run 4 finals. In this one, because you are doing so many double AP shenanigans, the turn extension is very good. And you know what you can discard to Olivier if it's dead in your hand? A final. So, okay, let's go. But the matchups. I do not think this is a deck that I would bring into an event that is longer than 4 rounds. Your RNG can stay with you for 4 rounds fairly easily. Pretty good, in fact, where you can get some explosive turns, and as so long as your opponent does not have answers to it off of their life, they're going to be going, well, I don't really know how to play against this. I have to kill your Olivier, leaving your Louis in play. Or I have to kill your Louis, leaving your Olivier in play. What's the right call? Like, they don't know. But in longer events, because this is a combo-centric deck and its consistency does suffer a little bit, I don't think it will be able to perform as well through all of them. So if you're taking this to Gen Con, you're a believer, you love it, please perform well. I'm wishing you the best of luck with it. I think this deck is terrifying to deal with. It is surprising. It is powerful. It's going to take so many of these reactive decks by storm because they went, well, I guess I take 4 life now. Okay. And that is something that is very good for it. However, its matchup into the top tier decks kind of suffers a little bit. Louis is a good counter to the blue top tier decks that we are currently seeing on meta. 4.5 means you have to special him. That's great. But the fact that purple decks have all of the removal in the world means you can do these big turns, and if they have a decently strong draw, they might be able to retaliate. And that's where the Edward comes in. He's a great finisher against the top tier purple decks. I don't think Gwaine can do very much against this one. They're going to get their easy like push up early. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? They'll get those points of damage in, but you just need to go for the smash, slamming into your opponent cards. And then here's an Edward impact. Boom, slam. Like, that's going to be the gameplay against that one. If you're against Toto, they're going to blow up Fort Briggs. It is what it is. Save your big turn for when you are actually getting a big play out of it. But remember, you need to put something on that front line early, or else their Toto can just come down and double damage you instead of swapping something. So, yeah, it is what it is. Its Toto matchup is honestly fairly poor. Its Squad Zero matchup, however, I've played against Squad Zero with this deck a few times now, and if you save up your big combo turns, if they don't know they have to be the aggro, you're going to steamroll them. Squad Zero players, if you sit across from Briggs, push up. Just start pushing, slamming, and chumping immediately. Don't go, I'm going to react to what you're doing. Because what they're doing is too large for you to just react to the following turn. You might be able to go, I raid this, discard these cards, kill that thing, do my special, kill that thing over there. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, sure. Use your 3 APs to like remove 2 things, but this deck will be able to rebuild those large combo centric turns again. You need to be pressuring them because you can't just take double damage every turn. So that's going to be the answer on that one. Honestly, really good deck. Very strong, very powerful. I'm excited to see people put up some numbers with this, and I can't wait until the wheel decides that I'm going to be playing this. Thank you all very much for watching, and look out for the next one.